All right. Hello, 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 hello. Sean Brady, regular wine guy with my man J-Ton Gunter out in California.
What
J-Ton, how
up?
you doing this fabulous Sunday?
I am great, man. Ready to get into this wine, man. I'm already smelling it and it's already jumping out the glass at me, so I can't wait to do this.
I know, right? So you got mine. I got mine. You got yours.
Yes, sir.
Two different. Now we're calling them obscure grapes. Now they're really not obscure in the countries they came from. However, they might be a little bit obscure to us in the U.S. It was to me. I mean, Jayton certainly heard of some of these grapes, and he was going, "Oh yeah, let's rage it in that," and all these other wonderful things. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this. I thought just Pinot Grigio was from there. Not true.
Yes.
There's a whole bunch of
But
stuff.
we're
I
always
did
trying
know.
to like come up with value, right? Like we're always trying to come up with value plays. Everyone always leans towards the Sauvignon Blancs, the Rieslings, the Chardonnays, and we wanted to try to find something that was kind of outside that little realm, but also at like a little bit of a lesser price than those two, so that you guys decide to try them out instead of like just always staying with the same old same old. So looking forward to doing this one, man. Really am.
Yeah, me too. So one of the criteria that we had, and J10, like, what's the price range? Would you say you were keeping everything under? Because I know we're in different regions. I'm in the Midwest. I'm outside of St. Louis, in the suburbs of St. Louis, and you're out in California. My bottle was under $20. How about you?
Mine was under $20. This was actually 14.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was just right at 20. But then if you bought a six pack, because we got them at Total Wine,
Yes.
of course, you get the 10% discount. And we're all about the 10%.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I've been waiting for a solid 2 weeks just to get into this stuff, and it was a little hard. I'm like, I want to try it. I want to drink it now.
It's just sitting there on your shelf, and you're just like, I want to open, and you're like, no, wait. It's all about the video, right?
I had the little Jiminy Cricket in my ear saying, not yet, Sean. Just wait a little longer. All right, so you want to talk about your grape? You want me to go first?
Go ahead and lead off, brother. Handle your business.
So I got a Donacchiata. This is an Italian white. Now, Fiano it's 100% Fiano, which I had never really heard of before. But in the winery world, especially in Italy, it's a very common grape. And Jenny, who's in the background, she's our media coordinator from Medici Fabuloso. I know the people in Italy goes Medici, not Medici. So I know, we know it's a St. Louis thing. We butcher different names all over the place, and that'll be a whole different episode. But from a wine standpoint, they had a real interesting video that accompanied the purchase, and it was really great because you got to see the winery in the vineyard and just talking about her passion and how she, just an amazing background, which most vineyards are. Come on. I've seen people grow grapes in their backyard in the Midwest. It looks pretty freaking awesome. So this is a really interesting change. I thought this was going to be, I didn't know what to expect because I never had this grape before. But it's drier than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting, is it going to be like a Pinot Grigio? And it's not. It's crisper. It's drier. It's a different flavor that's going to pair with food, I think, even better. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of citrus notes, and not grapefruit like you get in a Sauvignon Blanc, but it's like a light dryness, kind of like almost like an effervescent Italian soda with some citrus in it. So if you ever had one of those, those San Pellegrino things are all over. That's what I'm getting out of this guy.
Interesting. I'm a huge fan of Fianos. It's actually one of the first Italian grapes. Vermentino and Fiano were two of my favorite Italian grapes outside of Grigio when I was first getting into white wine in Italy. And Fiano it gives you a little bit more weight. So it's more like Pinot Grigio as far as the weight on your palate, but the flavor profile, you're right, is quite different. You tend to get a little stone fruit with Fianos. You do have like a dry finish, a little minerality going on there.
Yeah, a lot of minerality.
Yeah, it keeps your mouth watering like crazy. Like you want to put some.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I'm like, well, I want to eat food with this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I should have started dinner so that, in 6 minutes from now, when we're done, I can just jump right in and eat food.
Yeah, it's
Because,
like you wanted to get like a whole white fish and just like go to town with that Fiano in hand.
but this would hold up, I think, to just about anything you want. Like, certainly, chicken, all the,
Oh, yeah.
Fish, poultry, things like that. I'm outside. This is not a porch pounder, but man, from a grilling standpoint, it's going to hold up to just about everything you want to throw in front of it. I would even argue, a solid burger. You don't have to overdress it. Some of those salads I was talking about, we were talking earlier about a nice spring mix with a fresh arugula or something like that. And this would pair wonderfully, especially just seasoned with salt and pepper. Doesn't need anything crazy beyond that. But wow, it's a real treat.
It's because it has it has that weight to it. That's why it's able to hold up to a burger and things of that nature, because it has a little bit of, there's some depth there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you read the label, it's talking about almonds and walnuts and honeysuckle and all these other wonderful descriptors, right?
Yeah.
But there is truth in those descriptors. Yeah. It's not thin. It's not sweet. It's flavorful and balanced, and it's really lovely. It's not soft. It's on the crisper side, like a tart green apple, but not so tart that you're like, no, this is nice, like a slightly honey crisp tart apple.
Some of the stuff that you were reading on the label, were you getting that more on the nose or on the palate? Like, were you like catching?
I got it all on the palate.
On the palate, okay.
On the nose, I mentioned some of the other things. I'm like, I think I'm smelling my neighbors cutting their grass.
I get that.
But no, here's some of the descriptors. It says, straw, yellow with a light green touch, delicate bouquet, which elegantly combines hints of almonds, walnuts, and honeysuckle in an aroma. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, with tropical fruit notes.
I love the way you read it too. It cracks me up.
I know.
You have a good voiceover voice, man. Like you just kind of ran right through it. It's really dope.
All thanks to Kathy Bosco. She was my voiceover instructor. So awesome, good stuff. But from just a pure wine standpoint, really, really lovely. How about you? Tell me now. You got a Gavi? Is that what you're drinking?
Yeah, I'm on Gavi today, man. We got the Tenuta La Roca 2018 Gavi DOCG. I'll put that up to the camera so you guys can see. Hold it there for a second so you can see what's going on. So Gavi is 100% Cortese is the grape. I know a lot of people don't know about Cortese. This is primarily grown in Piedmont, northern Italy. You know how I like to talk about Nebbiolo all the time. Well, this is like its white counterpart in Piedmont. I love this grape. I am a huge fan of like Piedmont wines anyway, because they're always really like food friendly, well balanced, but they're also like kind of driving home this complexity that I did quite a bit. As you know, with me, I'm all about the complexity. As long as it's balanced, I want some extra stuff other than just the fruit. And so this one I had this a couple years ago, and this definitely has reflected that in the past. So let's get into what's going on right now with it. Because this is 2018. This is 2 years from the last vintage I had. I had a 2016. So
oh wow.
On the nose on this wine, so I immediately get like sliced apples, like green sliced apples. I also get, so that, you know how you're talking about almonds and stuff and walnuts? Yeah. I'm definitely getting this kind of like salty almond thing going on here, because there's like a little bit of like a sea salt, but also like an almond thing going on here too. Ooh, I like that. The underripe peach. And then you get this like cool, like white flower acacia type of thing on the nose that's really jumping out the glass on me.
Okay, hold on a second. You said acacia?
Yeah, acacia.
What's acacia?
White flowers. That's all I know.
Okay, good. Well, I know there's arnica, which I don't know if that's a cousin or not, but it's I'm pretty sure it's a Montana wildflower. But
Blame
either
my
way,
mother, man. Blame my
I know
mother
it's
for
got to
bringing
be
me around all these
close.
flowers. Huh?
All these flowers.
Yeah, it's my mother's fault. She brought me around all this stuff that my brother was not like interested in at all, but I was always like open-minded. Let's check this out. And so like I got around a lot of different types of flowers growing up, and so I can kind of recognize smells with flowers. I don't know a lot about them. I'd probably kill them if I was the one who was trying to grow them, but I know the smells of certain types of flowers, and this is definitely like kind of like this acacia thing going on the nose.
Ooh, I like the focaccia.
Yeah.
Now so let me ask you this. So I have agave that we do not have the same bottle, and I think Jenny is going to have a different bottle than I do, because we all went to Total Wines and we all went to a different Total Wine. Even though Jenny and I are in St. Louis, we have 3 in our area, and she wasn't able to find the same bottle as you, and she wasn't able to find the same bottle as me.
That's crazy.
But we do have agave, and both DOGC or DOCG,
DOCG.
and DOCG, and I do like the descriptor on the back of mine. So it's can you say anything about the agave itself? Like the grape, the fruit, what can you say about that? What's the commonality thread here?
So normally they tend to, so a lot of times with this type of varietal, because again, it's Cortese is the grape. So Cortese is the grape. They tend to be a little bit more like medium body, sometimes medium plus, but they tend to be like more on the medium body side. More of like, if you want to have a comparison of this grape to one that you're probably familiar with, it's probably Sauvignon Blanc, because it has that kind of weight on your palate.
It
does also offer, if you are looking like at a bombastic Sauvignon Blanc, it has some of those characteristics too. Like there's some citrus here. Like you're definitely getting like this kind of lime thing that is normally, I would say,
a slight citrus.
True across the board. You're going to get a little bit of a citrus here. There's like a lime, and there's also like a kind of a lemony, like perfectly ripe lemon going on here too. And they always tend to, another thing too, characteristic of this grape, Cortese, there's always like this minerality on the finish. And that should be true with every one of them. And I'm gonna go into the palate in a second, but like, yes, these tend to have like this nice little kind of texture on the finish, this minerality on the finish that keeps your mouth watering like crazy.
And I noticed that with my grape as well. So it's nice that they complement but not overpower one another.
Italian white wines are known for balance. That's one of the things that they try to lean towards, unless there's a specific food from the area that they are, the grapes are being grown, then they'll try to fix that wine around that type of food, which I love too. Sometimes for anybody else that's not eating the food with that wine, it may be a little austere or a little bit bitter. But if you eat the food from that region and you're tasting that wine, they go hand in hand. They go perfectly together. And so that's the only time when it's maybe not as balanced as what you're looking for. But there are some wines that just stand alone, like this one, like this Gavi. This stands alone. Like I can eat it with food and it's going to be amazing. But by itself, this is an awesome wine. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the palate too. Let me taste it really quick and go into
Please
that.
do. Now that my palate's a little cleansed from the other one, but it's again complementing it really nicely. I'm going into the nose while you're talking.
Oh man. Oh, I love this wine. That sliced apple is like right at the tip of your tongue. Like it hits your palate and you're just like immediate smile. Like amazing, perfectly pure green apple here. That lime that I was talking about, it's more on the finish, like third quarter of the finish on the palate. As you can see, a lot of water's coming out of my mouth because it has like medium plus acid. So like I'm catching it right in the sides of my cheeks. This is complexity to me. This is what I'm talking about. Like the minerality kick on the finish, you're still getting that. This kind of this like stone fruit, like underripe peach thing too that I'm catching on the finish. Yeah, man. The almonds, I'm getting that in the second quarter to the finish. There's also like this kind of like wet leaf like wet green leaves going on here too in the third corner of my palate. This is a very complex wine, but light on its feet. It's tap dancing a little bit. Like it's doing the merengue on my palate. It's chilling. Like I really, really dig this wine, man.
It's doing the merengue on my palate.
Yeah, but like light footed, you know what I mean? Not the heavy footed ones with somebody with my kind of weight, but like kind of like a someone who's more in a lower weight, like 100-pounder, just like doing their thing across my palate. Like it's light on its feet, but it's still bringing a lot of complexity to it with it to the party. So this is awesome wine, man. If
I
was
love
to
the
pair
descriptors you said. Oh, go ahead.
If I was to pair with anything, I think this would really go good with like goat cheese. Goat cheese would be really good with this. I think also like a salad, like a Frisese salad would be really good with this. Definitely white fish would kill. And my favorite, actually, that's what it is. Oysters, Blue Point oysters.
Oh,
this would kill Blue Point oysters. Yeah, this would be the perfect pairing for a Blue Point oyster.
I bought all the wrong food for tonight. I just bought all Midwest red meat stuff. And I'm like, now I want all this seafood.
This is very good.
I love that descriptor, just slightly underripe peach, because I totally got that. Now, again, we have a different wine, but the same grape and same general region, and great descriptor. I would even say like a pomelo, right? That citrus almost looks like a grapefruit, but not strong like a grapefruit. But the underripe peach really gets in there, and you do get it's not a heavy almond. It's not like a cake, like an almond cake, a wedding cake type of thing. It's just subtle enough where it's going to give it the weight. And again, just like the Fiona. Now I'm talking Disney movies. The Fiano, right? Just like the Fiano, I want to have food with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just, I do want to just drink it, but like the cheese pairing would be wonderful. Yes. I would love to carry it into a meal with friends and, even a salad. I can't wait till my wife gets home and she's picking up our kids and it's awesome. It's a fun wine.
What
especially if you're a food lover. Mine's a 2019.
2019, okay.
Principessa Gavi. Is it Gavia?
No, that's Gavi.
It's Gavi, but the name of
label?
it.
Oh, I have no idea.
Principessa Gavia. And here's a cool little descriptor. So I don't know if this is where Gavi got the name, but I'll do my little voiceover voice now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dun, dun, here we go. In a land far, far away. No, but in the 5th century, Principessa Gavia fell deeply in love with a soldier. Her father, Vladimir, king of the Franks, forbade their marriage. So the lovers eloped to a remote village in northwestern Italy, charmed by the local white wine. The label's a little worn off, so I can't quite read it. But the newlyweds revealed their identity and were brought before the king. But when he discovered their happiness, he forgave the couple. The king blessed their union and named for her both the village and its wine, Gavi, dry, fruity, with crisp acidity. Principessa Gavia. Gavi is an ideal marriage to seafood, chicken, or veal.
I love it.
and wow, what a story.
So yeah, that's a crazy story. I mean, Italians have a lot of those type of stories. Like it's so.
And to all our Italian friends who are seeing this, because we reached out to a few. I apologize for butchering every syllable that I just pronounced.
I do it all the time.
We do it all the time.
I'm supposed to be a psalm, right? And I get these labels, and I just on camera I butcher the hell out of them. And people look at me crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry, like that's not my first. That's not my native tongue.
I'm drinking it. I'm promoting it. We love you. I promise.
I get these crazy DMs
we would like to drink with you in person and eat food and drink wine.
Yeah. This is really, really good. Oh, this is coming from calcareous soil too. They tend to have a little bit more of that minerality, a little bit more of a kind of a complexity when wines come from this. Shout out to calcareous in Paso Robles. If you get a chance to go to Paso Robles and you're looking for a view but amazing wines there, go check out calcareous. They have some of the most, in my opinion, some of the most balanced wines, and they have some big boy wines too. I love their wines. They're amazing. So.
And we're getting into summer season where, people are firing up their grills, firing up their smokers, just getting ready to do some amazing things in their backyard. I think one thing that COVID has taught us is, hey, let's be resourceful in our own houses. Yes. And now we're just going to be able to, with vaccine and things going on, it's time to just really get back together and just reunite with people and share some of this great stuff. Yeah. Hey, what else do we want to talk about before we share some of the wines we're thinking about for our next episode where we do it live? And look, we're intending this to be evergreen so that you can find this bottle and drink along with us.
Yes.
Evergreen video. So it won't necessarily be live, but man, you can try some great wine and not be alone. If you are alone, you can do this any time of day if you're getting off late on the third shift or whenever your porch time is, wherever it's at, whether it's in your living room or on your back porch. We want you to enjoy this as much as we do, and we enjoy it a lot.
Yes, we want to share information. We don't want this to be stodgy. We want it to be laid back at your convenience, wine notes and wine tasting. And we would love for everyone to join with us on our videos and just like go through the whole pantheon of wines with us too. We enjoy this stuff. We want to share this passion with you. So yeah, I'm with you. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. Now, do you remember let's see, I know Jenny, she had, did she show you the wines that she found?
No.
Oh, Jenny, do you want to share? Oh, there's 2 audience questions when you're ready. Let's find out what the audience questions are, Jenny.
I did share those wines. I put them in our text thread, but I can show you the bottle since I've got them here.
And it would be even better because, a picture's worth 1,000 words and we're on video. So that's worth 1,000 pictures.
And I need to get better about getting back. I've been so busy this last week and a half, 2 weeks. It's been nuts. So sorry if I didn't check it out thoroughly, the thread, my bad.
Well, we just got it yesterday. So, and we had fun surprises and stuff like that. So we got my in-laws were in town, so we got to have dinner with them. So that, changed up our schedule a lot a bit, and all for good because we got to be with people we loved, and that's what really counts. So, Jenny, show us what we got.
All right.
So, J-Town, look at this because again, I never heard of these, but this was recommended.
This one is the Monastrell, which is also, I think, the more. Say the word for me. Maduro?
Mavudre.
That one.
Mourvèdre, yeah. Mourvèdre, yeah.
Yep. And
am I saying it wrong too?
Yeah, it's all good. we all
when I first saw it, we were in California. They were saying it was a Mavudre.
Yeah, yes. It's Mourvèdre, but I get Mourvèdre all the time.
It looks like Mavudre.
Yeah. I mean,
again,
that's what it sounds like.
Butchering it from the Midwest. I was at my cousin's wedding in California at a winery, and we all butchered it. Nobody corrected us because we bought it, and it was delicious.
The other possibility is this Pinot Noir from France.
I did see that. Okay, I do remember this. Okay.
Yeah. Highly recommend it.
I've
lines.
I definitely had the Mourvèdre before, that Mourvèdre that you're talking about. That Pinot is one I've been hearing about. I've never had it, so I'm excited to try that wine out. One that I actually really, really dig that I would love. I actually want to put on go over it on camera too. Is well, we might as well get into it, right?
Yeah.
It's starting to get warmer in the United States. Springtime, summertime's coming. And I'm always in search of a red wine that I can drink when it's warm outside. You get a little slight chill and you pop it and it tastes amazing. Yes. And so the one I really want to go over the next time we do a video, that Garnacha is amazing. I've had that one before too. That's awesome wine. The one that I
like
want to
those.
go over definitely is this grape called Mencia.
Mm.
It is out of Spain. I believe it's Bierzo, if I'm not mistaken, but it's out of Spain. And it is the one I want to try is the Raul Perez. It is one of my favorite red wines, period. But like, you get a little chill. You're sitting there on your porch. You're outside with your friends, and you're entertaining. We're having great, crazy conversations about world domination or whatever. You pop a bottle of that, and you're running with the bulls, man. It's that good. It's such an amazing wine. And so that's one I definitely want to try to go over with next time we do a video. I want to share the tasting notes with everybody and where you can get it. I already know it's at Total Wines, but there's other places you can get it too. And I want to like kind of shine a light on this wine. What about you, man? What are you thinking about for if you?
Well, I like all those picks that Jenny did because I'm like, well, now I want to try those.
No, that Garnacha,
you can't just get a wine and it's like then we just chalked it up, so we cannot not have it.
No, I hear you.
But I love that. I'd love to get a Spanish and maybe the French. Just have kind of two, like you mentioned, cooler regions that are gonna just like really go well with summertime fun and slightly chill and just be really refreshing for people. I know a lot of people in the Midwest. It's like, oh, you're thinking barbecues and beer, stuff on ice. Well, this is gonna work too. And it's going to be really, really lovely. So why not?
In there too, that none of these were more than like $18. Most of them were closer to 15 or 10.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's the kind of the ceiling that we want to like stay below is under like I would say like under $25. Red wine that you can drink in hot weather. And wines that are more, I would say, lighter, like medium body to lighter body, higher acid red wines. Nothing that's going to be a little like too much high on alcohol, because heat and alcohol, you already know, you're going to be sweating like crazy. It's not going to be a good look, and everybody's going to be falling on the floor. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, medium to light body, high acid, low alcohol red wines is where it's at for the hot weather. And maybe, I wasn't a fan of like putting it in the refrigerator, but now the older I get, the more I appreciate certain wines being a little chilled, red wines being a little chilled. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you decide out of those three for your pick next time we do a tasting. I'm looking forward.
Awesome.
To it. Yeah.
And so again, we found these at Total Wines, but they could be a similar grape, similar region. And we'd love to have you tasting along with us wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Jayton, anything else for you, sir?
Nothing really. Just check out my stuff. You can always follow me on Instagram at Jayton Gunter, and I have merchandise, wino hats, and shirts, and art, and books, and anything you can think of.
We're not getting paid by YouTube yet. We're not getting all the ad revenue. We're not one of these, what my kids always talk about. I want to be a YouTuber. Oh, DOCG. What does that stand for? And I know you know better than me, but I know a little bit, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'll let you say it.
It's horrible. I'm a butcher too, bro. So DOCG is like the highest level that you can get in Italy. There are some that let's put the highest legal level that you can get in Italy.
You can see it on the bottle there.
Yeah, it's pronounced. I'm gonna butcher this, but it's I'm gonna try this. Let me see. I haven't said this in a long time. Denominazione di Original Controllata Garantita. Garantita means it's a guarantee. This is a guaranteed high level bottle of wine from Italy. So when you see the DOCG, there's DOC and then you have the DOCG. When you have the G at the end, that means it's guaranteed from the government that this is an awesome bottle of wine. Now, there's a lot of money changing hands in Italy, and so I can neither confirm or deny whether the wine is going to be an amazing wine just because it has DOCG on it. But
what are they guaranteeing?
They're guaranteed the juice. Like, this is top tier fruit. This is top tier grapes, and this is top tier. This is the highest level you can get in Italy. Now, the Tuscany would argue that because their Super Tuscans are IGT, and they actually added IGT later on because people were going to Tuscany to get their Super Tuscans and realized that it was better than almost all the rest of the wines in Italy. And so they couldn't give it a DOCG. There was a big fight over that. So they decided we're going to come up with our own thing, which is called IGT. So if you ever get a Super Tuscan that says IGT on the label, that means it's a top shelf Tuscan, like, beast of a wine. So,
second question. Go ahead, Jenny. What's the second question? Oh, wait, I can.
What about the recommended kind of drinking temperatures? I know, like, there's different for whites, reds, bubbly.
I can say, well, what I did, I have a little bar fridge, right? And that's where I put my whites. I have that a little bit cooler because that's how we like it, right? So that's even cooler. I have my wine fridge where I keep my reds and a couple bottles of white, but Jayton said go all the way down to 50 degrees. I'm like, well, I don't know if I like it at 50, so I'm at 53, which is I think they recommend 55, which is cellar temperature if you think about it. And I remember from decades ago when I was just a kid, my neighbor who was a wine distributor, wine salesperson, liquor salesperson, right? But he said, it's like, look, the ancient Italians, if you think about it, in the Roman times, that's where they kept their wine, down in the cellars. And it was cooler, even in the summertime, even the hot Italian heat. So when they pulled these up, I mean, underground, if you get, cellar depth, it's going to be a consistent 55. That's why it's colder when you go down in the basement. It's going to be a consistent 50 to 58 degrees, depending on what time of year. It's colder in the winter, right? But that's where it kind of stays.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because even if you drop to sub-zero temperatures, it's not necessarily, depending how deep you are, it's not going to get to sub-zero below ground.
Yeah,
it's a natural insulator.
Yeah.
I like mine a little bit more chilled, but where do you like your whites, Jayton?
So I'm of two minds when it comes to temperature and wine. If I'm actually doing a real tasting, I like my wines at room temperature. And the reason I do that is because I need to understand what's going on in the wine. A lot of times when it's colder, it can hide some of the issues that come out of wine. Like it will hide some of the missteps by the winemaker, or even like, the purity of the fruit.
Yeah.
But like my normal is, if it is white, I'm around like 50. I'm between 50, 53 on white. I'll chill. I'll put in the fridge, or put it in my wine fridge. And then if it's red, this is the thing I like about red. I will like it between about 55 and 58. What kind of standard cellar temperature, because I like to see the wine evolve. I'm one of those people that I like to see it change in the glass. So you pour a little bit and it's maybe like closed off and a little tight, and then as temperature starts to kind of like warm it up and like you get a little air in it, it starts to like just blossom like a nice little rose petal. Like it just it gives you more. And I like to see the evolution of the wine in the glass once you take it from being a little colder to like what's going on now, So
now, what if somebody doesn't have some people are, there's not a lot of people everywhere in the country who might not have a basement or a cellar or even a wine fridge or a fridge where it's going to be 50 to 58 degrees. Is there any recommended way to chill that? Like I can share my hack, but I would love to know from your side of things, especially being in as many restaurants as you have.
So there's two different things. If you're storing it for long term and getting to it later, then the best way to do it is to store it in you don't want light, and you want it in a cool area. So I would say put it in a closet. Bottom of a closet is really good place to like kind of store your wine. I know a lot of people who have actually set up wine racks in their closet, and so they'll keep their wine in there and they'll just close it off. But again, if you want to chill it, then you go to the refrigerator. You have to have, most people have a refrigerator. You just put it in the refrigerator, pull it out like maybe 30 minutes before you're going to taste it so it can calm down a little bit, and then, go from there.
Yeah. Do you recommend doing like, so a lot of times you see it in an ice bucket or things like that. Would you recommend that? And how long, if you put it in an ice bucket, would you recommend putting it in the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes? Because I've seen people do that.
I've done that before too. Yes. With bubbles though, you don't want to keep it in there too long. It'll explode. But yes, I've definitely done that with bubbles. Put it in the freezer for like maybe 15 minutes, and like so it can be ready to go. Ice buckets work very well. Little trick: if you ever want to chill something really fast, like you're like, oh, I totally forgot to put this in the refrigerator. You could get an ice bucket. Make sure it's ice, but mostly water, and then you throw a little salt in there, and you stir the bottle around for about 3-4 minutes. That bottle will be chilled probably within 10 minutes. You just that's a little trick. But yeah, if that's a quick way of trying to chill it up, but again, the refrigerator is probably the best, and take it out 30 minutes after, like 30 minutes from the time that you put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then take it out 30 minutes before you're going to drink it, and you'll have it at perfect temperature.
I concur 100%, especially with the ice and the salt. That's how you make ice cream. Yeah. And it's amazing how it cools things down rather quickly by adding the salt, because you're getting the melt and the chill at the same time. And it's, I don't know the chemical reaction because I am not a chemist or a scientist, but man, it works.
It works. It was a master som that told me about that. Actually, we were in class and he was like, yeah, if you just stir it around and stir the bottle around in the ice bucket with the salt and the more water than ice, 3 minutes, it should start really getting chill. So I like that idea.
Well, giving a shout out to my hometown, J-Town, Joliet, Illinois. There used to be this place called WC Flicks, and that was one of my first jobs in a restaurant. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he was a patron, and very casual dressed guy in a like kind of an upscale restaurant for the area. And he was controlling the wine bucket, and he pulled the salt cap off the salt shaker. And he was putting it in the thing. He was like controlling the whole thing. He's like, just bring me a bucket of ice. And he poured his glass of water in there to chill down the wine to the temperature that he wanted. I'm like, what is going on here? Did I do something wrong? And I didn't. He's just explained everything exactly that your Simon taught you.
Yeah. Yeah, there are little tricks to wine, man. There's little tricks
to wine. It's fun stuff.
There's tricks to savoring wine. There's all these little tricks that you just pick up these little nuggets and you put them in your little quill and use them for later to surprise and awe people in parties. Basically,
the biggest thing, just enjoy it. Enjoy it with friends. Enjoy it with family. Enjoy it with conversation, and certainly with food.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for you, sir, before we end this episode and plan out our next one, because this is going to be fun again.
I'm great. I'm good. Just again, follow me, guys, and can't wait to do this again.
Give them the hashtag again so they can find you easy on Instagram.
It is at Jayton Gunter, all one word, JATON GUNTER.
And I'm Sean J. Brady. I'm the regular wine guy, and I'm also on Vivino. Find me there. I love to do wine and food pairings, and for the most part, as Jayton said, we like to keep it under $20. It doesn't mean sometimes we go over, but hey, we got a budget. We like to buy in volume, and a little less expensive makes bigger volume. So there you go.
Yes, sir.
All right. On that note, Jenny, thank you in the background.
Thank you, Jenny.
Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, we may not see in person, but we always will see you right here on social media